The doorbell rang Friday night, January 31st at 8:30, and it startled me. In the 15 years I've lived in this house, I can remember the doorbell ringing less than 5 times. Nobody rings the doorbell. To be honest, I didn't even think it worked. It turned out to be an inflection moment in time, a defining moment. Shooing the dogs away from the door, I opened it to a woman holding a flashlight. She asked me by name, and when I replied that I was he who she was looking for, she said, "You've been served," and handed me an envelope packet. Inside was a document titled Proof of Summons from the office of Allison F. Zimmerman. My wife of almost 10 years wanted a divorce. 6 weeks later, my troubles seem a little less significant. The United States and the entire world is in a state of emergency due to coronavirus. It's a state of panic. We're in lockdown. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Hi, I'm John Witt. Sometimes it seems the world goes a little crazy. Actually, I think it's in a state of crazy all the time. It's the intensity that shifts. I mean, when was the last time you saw or heard of a rush on toilet paper? In my 60 years on the planet, I've experienced many inflection moments. However, it's only been the past 10 years where I've had a new strategy, a new path to follow. It's new to me, maybe not new to others, but it's way more effective than anything I had before. It's a path to personal peace that allows me to experience and share love and joy in the midst of crisis. In many ways, it's every man's journey. It's for all of us. I was all set to continue the blog series on millennials, but after the events of this week, I feel compelled to share differently. And I've been looking for the time to share this experience for some time now. Today's the day. My first divorce? Yeah, I know you'd think I'd learned my lesson. I'll have more on that later. My first divorce was in 2005, and it was hellacious. It was an experience that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. My heart was shredded. The legal process was a freaking bloodbath. That was easily the most trying event and crisis of my life. Recovery, mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially, continues today. But when one door closes, another one opens. 6 years later, I was shown a path that I didn't know existed. I found a missing ingredient to my life, my missing ingredient, and it changed everything. Up until then, I didn't even know I was missing anything. I was floundering around just like so many of us, wrestling with my shortcomings and the shortcomings of everyone else around me, and I was suffering through it to the best of my ability, which frankly isn't much. My recovery was slow. In July of 2010, though, I experienced the first in a remarkable series of events. These are events that I'll share in upcoming blogs and videos, but my life took a turn in an entirely new direction. The result of this is the most transformative experience in my life. Now, I've been tracking on this path for some time, although I was unaware that the path existed. And over the next 2 years, from 2010 to 2012, events continued to pile up on each other along this path. And at some point, and it wasn't a specific day, I began to recognize God's work. And it wasn't so much that I said, "Oh my God, there's a God." No, my experience was not a blinding flash, but it was a consistent, connected series of events that I found to be wholly undeniable. I fully realized the power of God when I found myself, for the first time in my life, at peace with all the crazy events that I routinely experienced. The world didn't change. Life continued to throw its curveballs, and yes, I still occasionally swung at pitches in the dirt, and I still do this today. But I changed. Or you could say, God changed me. The reason he was so effective is because he delivered peace. People don't change for change's sake. At least I don't. People change for a benefit. Either the pain goes away or the gain is valuable. In this case, it was both for me. Peace is amazing. Today, I believe that adversity is God's way of teaching us all lessons. The lessons of the Father teaching his children how to live in this crazy world. And I'm at peace with those lessons because God forgives. The lessons and experiences are not the end. They just are. I found peace. Up until this sequence of experience, I had never known what peace really was. And I found a never-ending, never-failing relationship with God. And in that relationship, I realized a sense of peace and calming that will never be lost because God's love never fails. And in Jesus, I have a path with purpose and a life that I, frankly, never expected. The divorce experience I'm going through today, it's not like the last one. True, it's my second time around, and I'm a little bit smarter now. But more importantly, I'm not alone. God's with me. I didn't have that understanding back in 2005. 10 years ago, we experienced the Great Recession. 19 years ago, the World Trade Center was attacked. Black Monday was in 1987. These are all calamities of epic proportions. The world stopped and shifted and recovered. The coronavirus crisis is not the first global crisis that humanity has faced. It's just the one we're experiencing right now. It may seem like the world is failing and has literally gone nuts. And yeah, I think it's pretty crazy out there. We are once again at an inflection point in time. Not the first and certainly not the last, but a time where life will change for a great many. This too shall pass. You're not alone. God's love never fails. Clarity is hard to come by in moments of panic, but you can be 100% clear that God's love never fails. The clarity is real. It's not changed since the beginning of time. Look to God for peace. Pray for those you love and all the others that are affected by this crisis. Many will feel significant adversity. Now's the time for love and compassion. Time heals. Plan for the worst and hope for the best. Take time for self-care. Give yourself the gift of love and connect with the Creator. Pray to God to manage your heart, mind, and soul so that you can be the best you can be, because the world needs all of us to be at our best right now. Together with God's love, we persevere. Whatever happens, happens. It may be beyond our control, as so many other things are, but is not beyond God's control. Love to you and blessings for you and your family.